The Snail King swung his blade and chopped off the head of an innocent fly, then picked up the crown and slipped it onto his own hand. But he was still not satisfied. He sneaked into the Snake Kingdom and kicked the crown off the Snake King's head, then stabbed his blade straight into the Snake King's head and took the crown for himself. Unexpectedly, he got stuck while trying to put the crown on. The old Snake King used his tongue to push him off the cliff, but after falling off the cliff, he dragged the Fish King up from the lake bottom and brutally killed him. Fortunately, a crab appeared and dragged the crown away. It turned out that this king was just a small snail that ruled a small area. He swore to destroy all royal power and conquer the whole world. To achieve his goal, the Snail King broke into the Shoe Kingdom by any means necessary. The Shoe King was completely unprepared and even wanted to welcome him warmly, but the Snail King twisted off his head and stole his crown. By the time the guards discovered it, the Snail King had already vanished without a trace. The guards who protected the Shoe King were furious and rushed to the Snail Castle overnight, vowing to retrieve the crown and avenge the Shoe King. When the Snail King learned of this, he secretly resolved to wipe them all out. He set a giant mousetrap and put cheese on it, hoping to kill all the subjects of the Shoe Kingdom. But then an accident happened. The crown of a heavenly god accidentally fell to the mortal world, drifted with the wind to the clouds, triggering a heavy rainstorm. Magically, when the rain fell on a pumpkin, the pumpkin actually grew a crown. The Snail King saw this, immediately smashed the pumpkin, and took the crown. But not long after, the crown withered and rotted, and attracted a swarm of flies. The flies elected a truly powerful Fly King. The Snail King could not tolerate another ruler, so he swung his blade and split the Fly King in half, taking the crown to use as a ring. From then on, the Snail King acted tyrannically. Even when he encountered the mountain god far stronger than him, he still wanted to try to defeat him. But no matter how hard he tried, he couldn't hurt the mountain god at all. The clever Snail King climbed onto the mountain god's head and accidentally discovered a dense forest, then casually took the crown of the Mushroom King. He didn't know that this crown would make people lose their minds and immediately hallucinate. He slashed off his own finger until the bleeding wouldn't stop. He finally came to his senses, but it was already too late because he had lost too much blood. He arrived in the underworld. Seeing the ox-headed and horse-faced demons in the underworld, the Snail King wasn't scared at all. He touched his head and found that his crown was missing, which shocked him greatly. Seeing a crown pattern on the wall, he couldn't resist rushing in. Looking down, he actually saw the crowns he had once taken. When his gaze landed on the crown on the Grim Reaper's head, he hurried down the steps and lunged at the Grim Reaper. The Grim Reaper used just one finger to push him back into his seat. He charged several times, but failed to get the crown. Fortunately, the Grim Reaper didn't bother with him. With no other choice, the Snail King had to fold a crown out of a napkin and put it on his head. How could the Grim Reaper tolerate him ruling again? He immediately snatched the paper crown away. The Snail King flew into a rage, baring his sharp teeth. Seeing this, the Grim Reaper couldn't be bothered to deal with him and simply gave him his own crown. But this crown was way too heavy, and it instantly crushed the Snail King into a pulp, and so he lost his life and vanished completely.